So I've learned that you've cheated and checked the thumbnail.
I did. It's not cheating. It's about making sure the show is happening. Like make sure it's scheduled. You know?
Realistically, the easier way would be to text the person if he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't.
Yep. That would be the easier way. But I don't go the easy route, man. I go the difficult route and go dramatic. There is no thumbnail. There is nothing scheduled. What day is this? Foolproof it. So I don't look like an idiot when I send out the message, hey, is there a show today? Or,
Basically, what Marcus does is work harder, not smarter.
yeah, Manny, then it goes with, is there a show today? Followed by 5 minutes delay. Manny, are you alive? But I know you're alive when the clickbait fool, the king of the clickbaits, return with some shit like this.
Yeah.
What is happening on the right here? What is happening?
It's a pinfall, which could easily be Lana or Penelope Ford. Nobody knows.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Fun fact. Fun fact. And Toni Storm's joining up with Swerve's guy. Spoiler alert. Allegedly. Because she's swerving.
Okay, so I did not change the Toni Storm image on the next two potential thumbnails. What do you think the next one is?
The dog.
Wrong.
Damn it.
Chris Statlander upside down.
It doesn't matter. Oh no! Of all the stuff that happened this week, the Penelope Ford Statlander match has nothing to do with anything.
You want another thing that had nothing to do with anything that was a potential candidate?
Sure.
Oh no!
That's less. And I like that Toni Storm remains up there. Remains on top.
To be honest, there was no other good images.
You could have went with Conchita in shoes this week.
No, but I did go with Legardo del Fantasma.
It almost looks like a throwback image. It looks like they actually have those titles, but they don't.
Yeah, but Raul Mendoza looks like he's having a terrible time.
No, it looks like the drugs done got him. Like, damn it, another bad binge. But I'm champion.
I think the people we do need to champion now is this squad, though, because they were so happy.
Yeah, they literally thought they won the title. I don't know what was going on back there, but there was no resolution. I was expecting to get their ass kicked, but no. Nothing of any consequence happened for them for over celebrating. But they made the most. As they say in the biz, make the most of your TV time. They made the absolute most of that beatdown that Shotzi and Ember got from the way. They made the most of it by celebrating like they were the champions.
So, and then I do have two AEW solo images.
Their outfits this week, they need to be shot.
The Seth Rollins special.
Seth has more class than them.
It's the exact same jacket.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like his suits and everything else has more class than what they have. Once you put the little thing on top of their head, it's over. The whole outfit dies. I can't even look at them.
And that bandana across Nick Jackson's head looks like one of those sleeping things you cover over your eyes.
Yeah, it's just pure taboos.
And then, of course, the fraud.
After we told him he was a fraud, no! I've been exposed! And even Darby's going, he is a fraud.
He's a fraud. Look at him. Look at him. He's a fraud.
And then Ethan Payne's going, look at him. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. You are a fraud. No, Darby, no. I should have got.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Ow, ow, ow!
Hey, hey, hey!
right now. You guys are ridiculous.
The greatest image to exist on Malcolm Bivens' Twitter.
Yep. That is my mom and dad's photo from 1977. Literally that photo.
But I think I have something close to one up that.
Ooh.
He's so small.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my best friend. Like, they should really do Twins, the remake with these two. I'm really down for it.
I like that Woods is booking them as the Titans of Tower. The
Yeah.
Giants, and they've made Malcolm Bivens 7'2".
Yes.
So, of course, welcome to the Untitled Manny and Mark show. I am, of course, Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm joined by an awake,
alive, Marcus, the grand finale, who survived last week. So, if you were waiting for a payoff to that cliffhanger last week, if I died or not, well, I didn't. I'm sure you would have probably found out before if there wasn't a show this week.
Would I do a show so quickly after you have died?
I would have just did an empty box. Like, yeah, use some old audio from a previous edition.
Reanimate you. That's far too much energy.
Yeah. I would just have past react, like you just edit a video. I'm wearing different shirts to each one, and you just have me paused, and it goes like this. Yeah, and Brandon Cutler did it. I go on like a rant, and then you go, excellent point, Marcus.
So Eric's in the chat, but I don't know what outfit he was referring to. I'm assuming it's these guys.
Yeah.
That looks more menacing with his face attached with this image.
Yeah, he really looks like he's about to take their lunch money. Or Eric is about to make way for the Impact Championship. He's talking about the Sting and Darby, I'm assuming. I love when people are on delays. But, wow, don't we have a lot to talk about today. The Wednesday Night War has heated up at a fever pitch I've ever heard of in my life.
I don't know if we could call it the Wednesday Night War, maybe the midweek war.
Well, the war might be happening again, Manny. They may be re-upping now that the hockey has intervened once again.
Oh yeah, so
we didn't talk about this at all. I guess it didn't happen, but I found out when I was in my coma that this happened.
So apparently, hockey is going to force AEW potentially to move to Fridays to go against the big dog.
Dun, 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 dun. And I want to say, don't do that. Don't go against the big dog. Choose another night. Go to Tuesday. War with NXT again. Get the easy victories. Don't go after the Lakers or the Nets or the Clippers. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Because they won't
go after the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table.
They're definitely not going Monday because that's going to interfere come September in Monday Night Football. Not that anyone would want to watch the Jags on a Monday. Nobody, not even Trevor Lawrence, could force someone to watch the Jags on a Monday.
Manny, as I'm trying to think of the Jaguars, any players of any kind right now, and I'm saying that even if they were playing, they would not watch the Jags on a Monday, and they're in the game. They're in the game, they wouldn't watch the Jags.
Well, So currently the Jets are on the clock because we all know the Jags are taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. The draft is tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fire suits and break up with girlfriends. That's my favorite part. Is seeing what girl they with there and what happened to her. She has been deleted. It's like whenever they get drafted, the Thanos snap happens for all the girlfriends. It's just with them. I just got you here, all right? And I just want to put the "Don't you
Forget about
about
me.
me."
Dun, dun. No, 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 don't you. So
Forget about me.
we do have a lot to talk about, so let's get cracking with the knacking. Let's move on to NXT.
Let's get cracking with a knacking?
Yeah.
What is a knacking?
Bro, I don't know. I heard it. Someone said it.
That person shouldn't be talking because they were clearly drunk. Let's get it clapping with a napkin. You mean a napkin? No. With some, what are you talking about? Let's get it cracking with a napkin.
So NXT kicks off with Dakota Kai versus Mercedes Martinez. Pretty good match till the ending, but like obviously it had to happen to push along the story. I felt there was a nice botch that was covered up by Mercedes Martinez, where Dakota Kai did not jump high enough.
No, those knees aren't as good as they used to be. She got no lift, and that was a good cover up for a botch because that was such a good cover up that intentional that she turned her over and paintbrushed her, and I was like, yeah. But Mercedes does look like a credible opponent until she got rammed into a barricade.
She got battered.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's dead.
So tonight was a night where females just did not want to get along.
No. You want to jump ahead to later females, or this is a very female oriented show.
Yeah. I thought this was probably one of the best Mercedes Martinez matches since she'd been in NXT. Like I think there was the Raquel Cage match, which was good. I think was it the battle?
No, it was
Rhea. The
Battle of the Badasses.
Yeah, that's probably her best match in NXT. But I think this is a close one to be like, you know what, this wasn't bad, and then especially as it didn't necessarily have an ending.
Yeah, I want to say this was the best match Dakota Kai has been in a while, where she just wasn't just fed to the wolves, basically.
Oh, this technically was.
She looked credible. She was, but she looked credible in this one. She looked credible. I don't know what it was. She looked credible. She survived it, and they didn't have her take the pinfall. They protected Dakota Kai, and I can't wait to see her on the WWE Untold, where they're talking about Shawn Michaels and Diesel, and they have Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez talk about their gimmick today. I doubt they do it. But I'm just saying.
So then we move on to Cameron Grimes in the jewelry shop, where he tries to buy something nice for himself to get himself the most expensive watch. The watch selected later in the night, he questioned if it was working as it wasn't going TikTok, and Karrion Kross wouldn't like that.
No, made me laugh. Because I was like, that's great.
And then when he asked for it to be ringed up, the $1 Million Man one-ups him with $1 million watch. And I wasn't expecting him to come so soon. Like, I was hoping for this to go a little bit longer down the line.
I thought they were going to tease it more. Just be like, no, that damn bought by Ted DiBiase. And it'd be that damn to but he showed up, and I was like, oh, that's it. That's what we were waiting for. And hopefully it's not the end. What I got from this whole segment, I don't know if you've seen the show starring 2 Chainz, Manny. Most Expensiveness.
No.
And all I wanted from this at the end of the segment was if I can get Cameron Grimes and 2 Chainz to do a show of most. It's basically Lifestyle the Richest Famous, but with 2 Chainz. And he's just doing stupid shit. He's just they're spending stupid money on like overpriced stuff and just living the most lavish life. And it's just, 2 Chainz'd up. And I would like him and Cameron Grimes to do an episode together.
I don't even need that. Do you know what I need now, Marcus? I want a repeat of the sketch from Dave Chappelle, the Dave Chappelle show, the Lost season 3 when he did Cribs. I want Cameron Grimes Cribs eating a dinosaur egg.
That's a dinosaur egg, man. I mean dinosaur eggs. Man. Cribs is the greatest show of all time. Show of all time.
None of the houses are real, but cool.
Don't care, Manny. I don't care. I learned this week when I got caught up watching WWE's Most Wanted Treasures is that I don't know if I want my TV to be real because I'm clearly watching something fake and I'm enthralled by it for no reason. No reason.
See, while you
to get Sacco. Right.
while you have been doing that, I have unfortunately been watching TLC 90 Day Fiance, and I am hooked. I am hooked. Big Ed with his no neck. I am hooked.
There are so many people that are hooked to that show, and I'm going like, I've never seen a minute of it, and they go, "You need to," and I'm like, "Oh
you
God."
honestly need to. Big Ed washes his hair, not with shampoo, not with soap, Marcus. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Nah.
He's about 5'3", has no neck.
God, no! You're describing me, Manny.
No.
Man,
He is literally like this. So we move on to GYV, who are furious with that MSK are ducking them. Zach Gibson calls them knobheads and states that titles don't make men. The men make the titles, and state that they're the fire that's going to ignite the men's tag division. And they're interrupted by Toothless Timmy and Tommaso Ciampa, who make claim to face MSK to be tag champs. And Toothless Timmy had been studying footage. The chant I love. Shoes off if you hate Gibson.
Shoes off if you hate Gibson. And I currently have my shoes off, and I can't take my shoes off and put it in the air.
I can't reach the one I have.
No, we're failing at this. We're trying.
There we go.
There it is. The shoe is off. Manny, what shoe is off today? Looks like something of a Nike brand. Looks like a Jordan.
Is a Jordan 11, Bread 11 low.
Yep. Those shoes off if you hate Jack. So they started that chant, and it's a tremendous chant. And the tag team division is heating up. Not a stick as SmackDown's tag team division with 2 C's, but it is heating up on NXT.
There's 5 teams in NXT now.
Shut up! I don't care.
There's 6.
Pat McAfee is God, okay? All right? So therefore, when he says the SmackDown tag division is thick, I am saying that it's the #1 tag team division in the world right now, with its 4 tag teams. 2 C's, Manny. 2 C's.
So I have a feeling Xia Li may be done, as they got rid of the black cinematic bars, and I was very unhappy with it.
What do you mean? No, she's not done.
The way
they had that Queen intro,
Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't want to see that.
I needed that because I was like, "Oh, thank God, they're alive."
Marcus, I've got to throw some credit to you.
What's that?
Your boy Swerve may be up there with promo of the week.
Before we go to Swerve, Manny, I want to still talk about Tian Sha, attorney at law, and their vignette. And I think they need to start ending their promos as "We want the smoke," and they both smoke into the camera. And I know it's a Street Profits gimmick, but I'm saying it looks amazing if they said it. If Bo would say, we want the smoke.
Not even like, we got the smoke.
Yeah, we got the smoke. It's like, oh shit. All right, so we can move on. We can move on from that because they were high as fuck. They were smoking that glass dick, and they were ready to go.
So Swerve is proud of Leon for attacking him after the match, and the ball is in his court, so he calls for a 4 count anywhere match. Because Leon wants to play this game, he's going to continue to play. This time, he played with his life.
No, when he said that, I was like, "Oh, this shit's serious now because you don't play with a black man's life."
The part about this was it's the most unnecessary blood feud going on NXT.
It is necessary. It's ugly, but it's necessary. This is the only one way to promote Swerve Scott into at least the North American cruiserweight or even the heavyweight division is to do this, and it happened. And I thought this was a pretty good promo. And that, in the studio, the way it looked. And I'm going to say this about NXT. The production value for the backstage interviews were on point this week. Everything backstage, every vignette, whether it was Cameron Grimes, Swerve Scott, Tian Shaw, even the Adam Cole interview. I enjoyed all their backstage kind of interviews and vignettes.
Well, so
production was on point.
So what I've got to say to that, Marcus, is that do you know the opening to Mortal Kombat, that terrible film we reviewed on the weekend? That the video
Mortal Kombat!
we also clipped the actual review and put it on as a separate video yesterday. Check it out if you haven't. I feel like I believe that the rest of the budget for that movie was used for the production of the NXT promos, because they only spent the beginning of that budget for the beginning of that film when spoiler alert, Scorpion lost his family.
Manny, that's like saying, you know what, spoiler alert, the Waynes die. Batman can be created. Sorry, the Waynes are dead. They killed the Waynes? Yeah. So is Ben Parker.
So we move into Toni Storm versus Zayda Ramir, who I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, I was about to do that Snoop Dogg. Who? When they did that. She got a name.
You could have told me that was the two lookalikes of Sasha Banks at Impact, and I would have believed you.
Are you talking about Tasha Steelz and
Kira Hogan? Yeah.
Yes.
So Toni Storm starts with Tony Stark should owe her a thank you for making her famous at TakeOver. And when history is written, she will merely be a footnote in the legendary career of Toni Storm.
Preach, Tony, preach.
So Toni loses this match rather than going for the win after the Storm Zero. She decides to go for a Storm Zero off the top rope and get distracted by Zoe Stark.
She went to Manny. She decided murder. She was like, nope, this person's unconscious. I want to make sure they stay unconscious forever. And I go to Toni, but I believe that's murder. And she goes, yeah.
It's interesting, this feud, though. Because both of them have just been taking L's recently, so it's just got battle of losers. The only difference is Zoe Stark has the win over Toni Storm from TakeOver.
This is the opposite. This is the bottom of the bell ranking. This is like watching the Jags and the Jets
I don't
have a rivalry. Rivalry of everyone. We're like, I hate that team so much. You guys are both 0-9.
You can't put those two in the discussion with the Jags and the Jets. Because the Jags and the Jets are far worse. The Jags and the Jets are reserved for Lana, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke.
You couldn't even throw Naomi.
Occasionally Naomi.
The bottom of the barrel. So, Manny, on a scale of 1 to 10, her name's Zayda Ramir? I can't remember her name.
Zayda Ramir.
How close to death did you think she come doing that shooting stars for us?
Very close.
I feel like there was an intervention from God himself that got her to get fully across there. Because I was like, oh no. And then she made it and landed flush. And I went, how? There must be angels in the outfield.
That film is so terrible. How dare you bring that up?
Yes. You goddamn right it is.
That film is awful. Angels in the outfield.
Starring Danny Glover, Tony Danza, George Love.
How dare you? If you were going to bring up a bad baseball film, you should have brought up Rookie of the Year, which I believe I can quote most of the lines from that film.
Yes, you can. And I would say, for the record, that is 100% an inaccurate way of making it to the MLB. But Angels in the Outfield made that is the most appropriate one because it looked like her life was saved by angels as she was doing that. I was like, she's going to land on her neck in this big moment. There's no way nothing about that looked normal. The way she finally got it flushed on Tony's door, and I went, oh, she made it.
But I tell you what, though, the way she hit it was almost quite like Matt Sydal.
Yeah,
because Matt Sydal has that thing where he's delayed in his movement, and it's like he's gonna die one of these days.
Well, it's like they do the flip, or they almost do the flip, then they glide and they finish the flip, and you're like, oh, they made it. But Sydal always felt like was in control. I realized she just realized, I'm on top rope. I gotta do something devastating to Tony's door. I'm going shooting stars press. Not 450. No.
Well, she went up. She went up there and it was like, I can't do a Hurricane Runner off the top rope because that's Edge's thing.
Edge is copyright that.
So we move later on to the night where it's Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory. Before this, LA Knight cuts a promo which I could not care for because it had nothing of importance for the rest of the show. If you wanted to know, it's something to do about Indy and Dexter Lumis. Did you care?
No, he was just talking. You know what? Him talking, it's enjoyable even though it's about nothing. I was more intrigued with the Garganos hanging out in the shadows. And when Bronson Reed's going, and then Theory popping up, hey guys, I got a match. What you guys doing in the shadows? You know I got a match. And they look like they were about their business tonight.
So Indy Hartwell was sulking during the entrance of the way, mainly because earlier in the night, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart had received flowers from Dexter Lumis, which apparently mind games when you go later in the back.
Yeah, but Manny, who sent the mind games? Who did it? Who's responsible for this? Is it the way? And them trying to break up Lumis and them? Or is it Frankie Monet?
I think it's Frankie trying to
people.
I think it's Frankie. So this match had lots of the way antics during this match, which didn't pay off for us in theory in the end. And then when in the back, they blame Shotzi and Ember for the loss for the mind games of Dexter's Flowers, which plays into later in the night, where it's Jessica Mayer and Aaliyah versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles.
So the belts were officially on the line, right? Because I didn't even think this was a title shot.
No, the belts were on the line. So they were distracted by more gifts on the way to ringside, Ember and Shotzi. The match doesn't get started as they are taken out by Candice and Indy in the most brutal way possible. Well, yes. Candice, I feel like Candice could smush cupcakes in my face. I'd be happy with that.
I feel like Candice does that every weekend at every bar mitzvah, at every Sweet 16, at every quinceañera. She just goes to every birthday party in Orange County and just throws people into cupcakes one after the other.
But Indy smashed like a glass vase onto Shotzi Blackheart. I'm like, damn.
The way again was about their business today. They were in a bad way. But man, as this was happening,
let's push the way to the side. Let's talk about what happened in the ring.
At the exact same time, I was distracted by the beatdown as Wade Barrett goes, "What are they doing? What is this lot doing in the ring?" They're celebrating like they've won the titles.
Little did we know, the girlhood dream and the boyhood dream in the ring was occurring. As they believed they had won the tag team titles.
Yes, Aaliyah has finally, this is the closest she's ever got to a title, and she has touched gold. And I don't know if they're ever going to let it go. I just like that Adger in the corner in this photo. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, their logic, and I can see how they're going with. This was a women's tag team NXT championship match. We were going to fight the champions. The champions could not compete tonight. Therefore, we win by forfeit. Therefore, we are the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And they look like this is the happiest photo ever. And you swear they did win. Like,
by the way, I'm not happy
committed.
I blame Leon Ruff for this, for Adja's extreme weight loss. While she may be healthier now, I think she was body shamed because Leon Ruff is so skinny so that she didn't want to look fat next to him.
I'm not in the body shaming industry. I'm not Dave Meltzer, Manny. I'm not going this route. Let her be healthy. Let her be healthy.
So we get Imperium versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Go back and watch this entrance properly. Killian Dane looks like a small, fat Braun Strowman.
So it goes.
There was a moment when he ran up. Towards the end of the match, Wolf is hesitant when it comes to hitting Dane with a chair. However, distracts Dane long enough for Bartel to push him into steps, leading to the win. Looks like cracks are forming, with Wolf trying to become leader and stand in front, like as if he's Walter, and the other two were not having it.
You can see it in their mouth. I'm sick of this fool, man. Like he doesn't even compete in this ring. He doesn't even wrestle. We do all the hard work. Walter does the hard work out over the pond in the UK. His dude just shows up and wearing this jumpsuit. He is literally about to get jumped out and replaced by Killian Dane.
So we get Pete Dunne talking a big game. He used various UK terminology here, Marcus. I'm not sure if you got it.
Okay, let's see.
He claims he's got the whole locker room shook.
That's almost an American term, and people use that in America at some point.
As he's the toughest matchup, because she's a cruiserweight champion. He put him out, and when he stepped to him, that title is his whenever he wants it. Or maybe he goes after and sparks up Walter.
You don't want none of that. You don't want that business again.
Takes back that title he made famous, or the North American title. If Johnny steps to him, they both know the way it goes. Bitter end. As for Karrion Kross, I thought this was funny. As for Karrion Kross, he doesn't intimidate him. He doesn't need smoke and mirrors. When he walks into a room, the mood just changes.
Uh-oh. Pete Dunne takes shot at Cody Rhodes. Smoke and mirrors. No, he does. He's talking about Karrion Kross clearly.
Claims to be the baddest man in NXT. Try and prove him wrong.
He guy's ass whooped by a few people.
Well, he could be next in line for Karrion Kross, but Karrion Kross is holding that title for at least 6 months.
I don't know. I don't have a long reign for Kross.
I do.
I don't have a long reign.
Do you know why I have him for a long reign? Because they recently updated their banners and Karrion Kross is front and center of it.
Oh. Balor's coming back next week, and maybe Cole, and
Speaking of Cole, he was interviewed by ESPN's Arash Markazi. There was a lot in this. He was carrying.
Hold on, Manny.
But we're ready for this interview.
Hold on, this guy's holding me up with this interview. I'm trying to do a show here. And Manny, are we gonna start the show or what?
So he's been saying that obviously he'd been carrying NXT and the Undisputed Era for 4 years. The reason he didn't make a mistake leaving the Undisputed Era. He made a decision about turning on his brothers and all this nonsense. Cool Kyle about being the next big thing. He said Kyle's got lucky and he isn't ready for the main event spot. As long as he's in NXT, Kyle isn't taking his spot.
Meanwhile, in a monitor far, far away, which I think is probably just outside or indoor, Kyle O'Reilly is watching in the boardroom. No longer dressed as Cool Kyle. More like
Mick Foley Kyle.
Mick Foley Kyle. So he is somewhere. Mick Foley is texting or tweeting Kyle O'Reilly, "Hey, it's nice to see that you're still in gimmicks."
Interesting about that though, Marcus. That may be the first time someone's ever watched a TV normally without having to break their neck.
Yes, he was casually watching TV in a normal position.
I don't understand why they don't do it like that. It's so easy to shoot them from behind first, watching it normally, and then pan back, move the camera.
No, because Manny, for me, this looks more realistic. I'm going to look at you like I'm Superman.
I can see from this angle.
Let's test my peripheral vision. Grade A. I'm going to do an entire show like this, Manny. Just looking in the wrong direction.
So on my feed, I didn't get the Diamond Mind promo.
Oh, you didn't?
But I saw it online. It seemed to be an MMA-themed faction. The diamond almost implies that Tessa Blanchard is going to be somewhat involved.
Okay, so I don't know. What does Tessa Blanchard have to do with diamonds? Maybe I missed
the only thing I think about diamond with Tessa Blanchard is that her ring attire here has a diamond on it.
That's called cleavage. That's called cleavage, Manny.
No, it's a diamond.
I don't know.
She's got a diamond here on her ring attire.
Those are called tits, Manny. They're not diamonds.
And,
I know you may confuse them. You think they're a girl's best friend, but they're not.
And
I'm messing around. I have no idea.
And possibly that big dude Parker Bordeaux.
Maybe it seems a little early.
And the other guy that I feel like it's going to be Jason Jordan version 2, the better edition. What's his name? Gable Stevenson or something like that?
Yeah, but why would it be Gable? I feel like these people would be too soon. Like Parker Bordeaux, Gable Steve, I feel like they just entered the Performance Center. I'm sure they're not ready for the ring yet. I don't want another Nxt Aew situation when they come in there doing one punch.
Hey, he put 2 men out this week. He put 2 men out this week.
He seems like a friend I would want to go to the bar with. Where's some trouble? Mr. Go-Go would have Mr. Go-Go would handle this. When you say his name like that, it sounds like you're about to deal with a fucking monkey. No. Mr. Go-Go will handle you.
It sounds like you're going to deal with George Michael and Wham. Wake me up before you a go-go. Ain't planning on going solo. So the main event was Legardo del Fantasma versus MSK and Kushida. Kushida has now got shoes. This man cannot decide on his ring attire. It's changed 3 times in the last week.
I would like to interview Kushida about his footwear and be like, what happened last week? The shoes just didn't fit. People thought that was a new look. Just got I got the wrong boots.
This was the 3rd 6-man tag match of the week.
After a week, Manny.
After 2 days. After 2 days, it's the 3rd 6-man tag match of the week.
We jinxed it. Last week we went, hey, there hasn't been any 6-man tag matches or multi-man tag matches.
No.
On all shows. All shows. We said this last week.
No, Marcus, we didn't even say 6-man. We said tag matches in general.
Yeah.
We said tag matches in general, and now we had loads since.
It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna get some tag matches. You didn't get them last week. You think you're smart, huh? We're gonna give you everybody in a tag. We got women's tags. We got New Day. We got Elias and them. We're going all out on tags this week. Kushida and Legardo del Fantasma. We're going all out. We give no fucks about you guys and your need to minimize on these tag matches.
So I thought it was a pretty decent 6-man tag. I think it was probably the best one so far.
Yep.
Like I liked the New Day and Damien Priest, but it wasn't. There was nothing to it. It felt like there was more. Yeah, it felt like there was more. There was more to it to this one. I
would give it to Raw because of the length, but this one at least had more story.
Yeah, this had more things to be like to care about rather than the Raw ones. Yeah. Like, I don't really care about the New Day anymore. Ain't got Big E.
Yeah. You realize you take Big E away from the New Day, there may not be a New Day.
So, what did you think of NXT?
That was a solid show. You know, I was more. I liked the backstage stuff more than I cared about anything going in the ring. And,
yeah.
But it seemed like it's setting up stuff. People going places. Finn Balor's coming back next week after enjoying his hell of a good time off. It looks like
he looked like he was having a fantastic time off.
Yeah, he had lucha masks, taking photos. He had, I believe, his wife or fiance or girlfriend or whatever she's calling herself these days. Yeah, his side piece,
his woman.
I would love for WWE to post pictures of Finn Balor in the side piece. Like his wife is like, "What the fuck, guys? Why those pictures?"
So we move on, over to NXT. No, not NXT, AEW, which happened yesterday.
Dynamite,
which kicked off with, is this just his spot now? Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. So he's taken up by Team Taz, at the beginning of this, leading to a brawl between Dark Order and Team Taz, where Brian Cage powerbombs Page onto the stage. But then after this, they had a pretty decent match open up Dynamite. And I think this is Page's first loss of 2021.
Manny, I wanted to say bars on how many times you ride Cage, Page, and Stage all
And-
together.
And didn't falter when I did it.
No. Bravo, bars. Oh, this is his first loss. But the start of the show with the brawl, and I went, here we go. the king of pull apart brawls, of random factions, of people just running around in the background. I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. I guess they're Dark Order. They're fighting Team Taz. There may be Hook there, and there's Taz on commentary. I was like, whatever. And Hangman Page lost in like 5 minutes, and I was like, I wouldn't have did it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think this loss is worth it.
I think this was just to set up the promo between Taz and Christian later on in the night, where Christian basically said back in the day Taz talked a big game, but he could back it up, but now not really. And then basically saying that he sooner or rather than later, Team Taz is going to realize they don't need Taz.
Aw. How dare he?
Yeah.
How dare he? That's like saying, sooner or later, you guys are not going to need your father. You guys are all alone. But, no, to me, I don't know. I feel like Team Taz and everybody in it, not like just them together, I guess. It's not really going anywhere and not worth the sacrifice of where Brian Cage or wherever Hangman Page is doing.
Well,
like Hangman Page was going number one contender. For a while, we were going toward him and Omega. That maybe that would have been the route I would want to, because Brian Cage doesn't really do it for me.
Well, I'm hoping we get to somewhere where it's Adam Page versus Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing, but I don't think we're getting that.
Because this loss means nothing to me. Like, people are like, oh, that's a good win for Cage, but I'm like, this doesn't add anything for him.
But the stuff with Team Taz. So I think I posted in the mid-card mess post from What Culture where they ranked the factions in AEW. The fact that they were able to make a list of more than like say 3 or 4 is a sign that there's too many. Like they had a list of 11.
Yeah, that's like me going, hey Manny, I'm gonna give you my top 5 favorite salts in my cabinet right now. How many salts do you really need? Like, it's just like a variation of salt. This is salt, low sodium salt. This is Lori salt. This is garlic salt. This is that salt. I don't even have that. But I'm just saying, you don't really need all that. It's just too much.
It's too much. You need 2 at max. 4, no, 2 minimum, 4 at max. You don't need more than that.
My top 5 favorite alcohols in my fridge right now. No, that's way too much. You're an alcoholic at this point. Just finish your shit and move on to the next one.
So speaking of another faction, it'd be the Super Elites celebrating squashed into a small limo. Kenny becoming the new Impact champion. Kenny is a little bit pissed off with the intimidation factor of what happened last week to their trailer. Kenny states he's not afraid, while all of them get scared when Nakazama accidentally hits the horn. But he tells Eddie Kingston he's sending in the goons,
which made me laugh. It made me laugh because I was like, "What goes he sitting as Knock and Cutler?" And I'm like,
I didn't realize Cutler became a goon. So when the Young Bucks took on Matt Sydal and his brother Mike and Matt, Matt and Mike. Yes. Who cares? It was actually a decent match, but nothing really special here. And then I realized, because I couldn't tell if it was Nakazawa or Cutler at the time when they first came out, to spray the Young Bucks down and give them the ice packs. Yes. I was like, oh, who is that? I was like, oh, it's Cutler.
No, that's not how you should have responded. You should have had Brendan Cutler here. Yeah, that's how you should have responded to him spraying them down and handing them ice packs.
Which then,
after that match.
Then we get the old men, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, come out. They question their change of character. They say that they are the number one contenders, and right now they're their biggest threat to the titles they've ever faced. Christopher Daniels said he was excited to wrestle his friends, but now all he says is entitled overdressed bitches.
I don't what. That was overused and didn't need. It wasn't uncalled for. I didn't understand why Christopher Daniels was so upset about this. They have done nothing ill toward him or Kazarian at all. They barely done anything heelish. And if they are overdressed, why are they so upset about this? Yes, they upped their fashion game. They have done nothing of any ill to you. We are still friends. I'm going to call you over on the weekend.
So if you're Jade Cargill, Marcus, who are you signing with? who you giving a cut of your money to?
Nobody. Nobody. What, are you implying Toni Storm is getting a cut of her money and that Toni Storm's career is over after losing to whatever her name was?
No, I just needed to put a picture of Jade Cargill up, and that's all I had at the moment at quick time.
At a moment's notice, you should use a potential thumbnail. Nobody. Unless it's Selena Vega, it should be nobody. The only person who can represent her.
So we now get Orange Cassidy versus Penta. Again, this match was going all right till Alex decided to pick up a microphone. However, Orange Cassidy has picked up the win with an orange punch with a microphone. How did you feel about this match?
I feel like we were building Penta towards something, and then he lost this week, and it really hurt. I was like, I feel like Penta's becoming one of the singles heels. Like, I feel like that was going on.
Do you think this is because Cody got hurt? Because it was leading to something special between him and Cody, but nothing really came of it.
Was it really leading to something special?
Oh, it was leading to a match, but like nothing really came of it.
I feel like everybody was attacking Cody around Cody's injury. Cody was coming out in the headsets, arguing with Sting and shit. It didn't matter. Cody was involved in like 30 different feuds. So to me, I don't think that was actually going anywhere. I just feel like they wanted to double down on Orange Cassidy for whatever reason. I didn't understand why Penta had to be the sacrifice for it. Like this Penta and Alex thing seemed to just be trying to build momentum. For him to lose this week, I didn't really like it. I didn't like it.
Okay.
And to the microphone. The damn microphone is the most powerful thing in AEW. Everybody loses to the damn microphone. But if you get hit in the head with a chair, you no sell it.
I need to tag you in.
Okay.
I need you to cover the parlay. Because I feel like I'm going to be brutally unfair when I cover this. So I'm tagging you in.
Okay. But I want
to giving you the tag.
Hold on. Maybe I jump off the apron, Manny. Maybe I jump off. Like Drake Maverick said, I know how this works. Okay? As soon as I get into the ring, you're going to hit me from behind. Or I'm going to reach for that tag, and you're no longer going to be there. And I'm going to be left going, oh. Okay? But I want to say, too much is going to the best friends. I'm sick of that faction, that they get too many victories. And that it's at the sacrifice of real talented wrestlers like Penta and even Alex, who's the voice of Penta.
Can you accept the tag now? Can you accept the tag?
There it is.
There we go. So the parlay is all yours.
Here we go. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, joined by MJF and his Pineapple Group. It all starts. They're going to do a coin toss and about who gets the advantage. And I'm assuming they're announcing basically this is a War Games because I don't think they have announced that this is War Games. Other than the fact that everybody for about a year and some change now, Blood Guts is War Games because they couldn't get the rights to War Games or whatever else way they were going to say it. Lethal Lockdown. Or whatever, the match beyond.
Lethal Lockdown, isn't that the Southpaw wrestling thing?
No, that's leap year. Or lethal leap year. Lethal Lockdown was TNA's War Games.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So, because they're doing a coin flip, and then here comes Shawn Spears talking about, we don't need no coin flip. We deserve the advantage. And the inner circle go, hey, you right, you're Shawn Spears. You need whatever you can get because you've never worked. And it's from Sammy. You've never worked anywhere. You're garbage and you're trash. And everybody knows it. And then Shawn Spears kind of just takes that. And it's like, I have no comeback for that. He's right. As one of the Revival gets the microphone, like, these soft ass Pride and Powerful, you guys can't beat nobody. And the Pride and Powerful is like, man, we're gonna beat your ass. And then he's like, yeah, but and then Dax goes, hey, kids. Hey, don't forget, before you come to the match, I want you to hold your kids tightly and whisper to him and tell him Daddy ain't coming home because he got killed by Dax. And I'm like, murder? They're going to get murdered? This escalated. So Jericho and MJF start sparring. And MJF's talking about he's coming for that spot, and he wants that spot. He wants to be the company man. And Jericho's talking about his career and legacy into this, and he's talking about how you'll never get his spot and all that. And then Tully walks in like a senile man trying to take the microphone from Jericho. He's like, don't try to end my promo, Tully. Don't try to do it. This is my promo, damn it. I can cry if I want to. And then they have a stare off at the end of the parlay. I was thankful that Jay Hagar and Wardlow didn't have to share their words with each other. But I thought this was a successful parlay in which nobody was hurt. And we're going into blood and guts. But they did talk a lot about murder. If no one dies in this match, I feel like I deserve a refund. Both ends talked about murder. Whether you were Pride and Powerful or Cash and Dax, or even Jericho and MJF, I think murder was brought up like 3 times. Like, you're gonna die. And I'm like, oh.
Okay. I'm ready to take back the reins.
I tag out. Jesus. Is it a hot tag? Is it a hot tag? Does Manny come in with full energy?
No, because it's Eddie Kingston versus Michael Nakazawa.
No, we're the heels! We're the heels! We're just getting clotheslines and drop kicks. Damn it!
So Eddie said he isn't doing this. Kenny said that they are mad at him just because they asked for the champ doesn't mean they get the champ. They send in the goons. And at that point, Nakazawa hits him in the back with a laptop.
My favorite. So I enjoy Kenny walking out there. It's like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? No, I don't want to fight Knock. Knock has nothing to do with this. And I was like, yes, this makes sense. I'm on board with him saying Knock has nothing to do with this. And then stuff stopped making sense as soon as Kenny got to or Mox jumped Kenny or Cutler, both of them.
No. He said send in Cutler, and then we see Cutler get thrown out there, much like when Swerve threw Leon Ruff when we thought it was a front flip.
But also equally, Manny, I thought, is this a part of Brandon Cutler's intro?
Do you think now that he's a goon, he's lost all the pyro and the dragon mask?
No, I want him to keep all of that.
So Mox takes out Kenny at the back from behind, and then they get a better Kenny and threaten to break his ankle when they negotiate the worst match I can ever believe in for next week. Mox and Eddie Kingston.
It doesn't matter. It could be Kofi Kingston, man, and you'll still be in a better situation.
Mike versus Michael Nakazawa and the AAA champion, the AEW champion, the Impact champion, Kenny Omega. Do you know what was disappointing about this? There was no
all of it.
There was no Kenny. It's supposed to be a big deal. He should be in the main event. Not even the main event. The last talking segment of the night. Or at the beginning of the show, talking all this shit about having those 3 belts. Did we get any of that? No. Yes, that is a very WWE type thing. But they did nothing about this whole Kenny thing winning the titles. I didn't watch Impact this week to know if whatever he did. Did you? Wait, Impact's tomorrow today because they moved it.
No, but Rebellion was Sunday. So I'm gonna say this is around this time ish, or maybe before after Penta lost. This is when the show took a dive for me. Just an absolute dive, Manny. And I want to start with this. I was happy with Kenny saying I don't want to fight the goo, but I was happy with Kenny going like I sent you my Jey Uso. I sent you my Jey Uso. Basically, I sent you my goo.
That is not Jey Uso. You cannot. Brandon Cutler plus Michael Nakazawa doesn't even make a Jey Uso.
It's a goon. It's goons. I'm just saying goons. Okay? I was okay with Kenny and, going out there and doing that. And I was even okay with him not bringing up that he's Impact champion. This is a tape show, whatnot, and, who's ever in attendance. It wasn't let out to be a spoiler for the other show. With that being said, though, Manny, they get the heavyweight champion in a compromising position, and they can make any match they want. Any match. They choose Kenny Omega versus Michael Nakazawa. Oh, Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa versus Eddie. Why does Mox and Eddie Kingston want to fight Nakazawa? They clearly didn't want to fight him this week.
Well,
Mox has no importance to any of it. You could have said, I want the Young Bucks in the tag team titles. I want Kenny in a world title match. Hell, I would take Kenny and Don Callis in a match. Or I want the Good Brothers in a match. I could have did anything. I chose this match. To me, it made no sense. And they seem to be happy with it.
Marcus, I tell you why this makes sense. Because these two are going nowhere. So immediately before Eddie Kingston got his leg broke, which he's out of plaster very quickly, mind you.
Yeah.
Them quick healing bones. Quick healing bones. He must be from Krypton. Second of all,
got a Senzu bean.
Second of all, leading into that, they were in a blood feud with, wait for it, the Good Brothers. So a step up from the Good Brothers is probably Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. I think the final step is the Young Bucks.
This is my final form. But I feel like this was stupid. It was stupid. Kenny was on the ground for like an hour. They wouldn't hold him down. He could have just seen kicked out and rolled under the ring. It's not like he had damage. I've seen Kenny in an exploding barbed wire death match. He's gotten up from worse than any work they put audio. I just didn't understand how he ended up in such a compromising position. Like, they should have grabbed Don. If they grabbed Don, maybe this would have made more sense. But the champion is laid there helpless. And I was really upset, as you brought up, that they did bring up that he did collect another belt and he defeated Rich Swann. Show me the footage. Show me what happened. Show me pictures. Show me something. Tell me that he won. Like, you could have did anything. And this is a post-production without releasing spoilers. This is nonsense. This deal with Impact makes no sense, Manny.
The thing is, they could have shot something on Monday. They could have shot something Monday, Tuesday, and then backstage. They didn't have to put it in front of people, and then put it on the screen for the home viewer. They could have done that, which is what I felt. Which I felt was the nonsense they did in a limo, but that was stupid. That was honestly stupid. They should have made a bigger deal of this. Like, this is supposed to be a big deal. He's becoming Ultimate Dragon. He's catching up with him.
Nope. Ultimate Dragon still got 12. He still got 12 belts right now. Right now, he still got 12.
But yeah, it's supposed to be a big deal. They didn't make any big deal of it, even in a tape show environment where you could have done post-production and recorded a little something and chuck into the show. Because, like, realistically, did I need Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford? No, but did I enjoy it? Kind of.
Obviously enjoyed it, Manny, as your match of the week, as you put it on the cover.
Marcus, nothing happened this week that this became the cover. And then after this, Miro beats up Kip Sabian and attempts to choke him with a chain, a la Benoit, and then slams his arm into the door, telling him it's time for him to pay his dues before hugging him. and telling him he forgives him.
Yes.
Fucking stupid. Miro's gone backwards again.
I enjoyed this beatdown because Kip was just some innocent kid looking for like his friends. Like, I feel like he told us like, "What's the beef with you and Miro? I don't see you guys together anymore." Oh no, we're good, we're good. Like he just talking it up. He knows it's bad. He's trying to tell the camera, "No, we good, man." You know, I can walk in there and say hi to him, and then Miro was like beat down on sight.
Yeah, but it's just like with Miro now, it's one step forward and 2 steps back every time, and then.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going.
And then
He's
obviously
in the back now and attacks.
I feel like the worst thing of the night, the Nightmare Family versus the Factory. QT Marshall has hijacked the Nightmare Express bus. Billy Gunn was hit so hard last week his ribs were taped. These are all just thoughts I wrote down. I didn't even write notes. I wrote thoughts. Marcus.
That's the company's car. You can't just steal the company's car. Stop me. I'm calling the police.
Marcus, if Lee Johnson is the Nightmare Family's prize student, I would hate to see their worst student.
Big Shouty has won one match in the history of Dynamite.
So One Punch Man takes
how
out
about
Billy
that dark
Gunn.
record?
Yeah. One Punch Man takes out Billy Gunn and Lee Johnson, leading to the win. Following more chaos as the Gun Club come out, while QT escapes to the bus, but we see Cody waiting for him. It wasn't even a surprise. You know that? It wasn't even a surprise. I saw Cody waiting. I could see it through the glass.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, Cody's in there. Do we die? And then Tony Schiavone go, you can see Cody through the glass. And I'm going like, no shit. No surprise here. And then they go on top of a bus, Manny, for no reason, where Aubrey Edwards decided to climb up with him and try to stop. Like, that made no sense. And then the best move Cody can do to you on top of a bus without damaging his bus is the finger for a leg lock. And I go, no. I want none of this. This needs to stop. This is why
WWE are always going to be better, because they would have done something to try and wreck that bus. Because WWE have fuck you money rather than the level of money Tony Khan is investing into AEW. While it's a lot, I don't think he's making that much profit on it.
Well, no, I believe this is how it was pitched. Cody goes, QT Marshall shows up on our bus. And then Tony Khan's like, we destroyed the trailer last week. It's too similar. Let's not do the same thing this week. And Cody's like, fuck it, I use my bus. Like, what? No, let's just not. And it's like, and Cody's like, well, I don't want to destroy my bus, so I'm going to simply just put him in a finger for a leg lock. Aubrey can climb up for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't understand what Aubrey's deal was there.
I don't know.
Like, at no point did she have any kind of authority up there that was gonna make any of them stop.
Yeah, I was expecting a throwing off the bus. But not Aubrey, but she had no reason to be there. I was saying QT was just getting thrown off the bus at the end of the segment.
In this situation, if Cody's coming to attack you, would you climb up that bus? I'm thinking no.
No. Who in a fight goes, oh my God, I'm getting my ass kicked. Let me climb up on top of the bus.
Like, maybe he watched SmackDown and listened to Seth like he's got the high ground, but no, not a good idea in this situation. And then we get the main event. I do have a question about this. So it's Darby Allin versus 10 from the Dark Order.
By the way, Manny, I want to update Mr. Kimono, or whatever his name is. Mr. I can take a chair shot and don't sell it. He took several more punches this week and was beaten to death. He
took someone out with a bell this week.
Yeah. But he also got his ass kicked away by hands. He can't sell the chair, and then all of a sudden gets hands beat from somebody and expect me to care.
So, Darby Allin versus 10 of the Dark Order. So there was a promo leading up to this where it was about 10 being chosen by Brody Lee. I got to ask about the Dark Order. Are they, because the Dark Order is so heavily linked to Brody Lee, you can't just end it, can you?
I would just end it.
Because
No.
the people in it don't really have any type of direction since Brody Lee had passed, and it feels like they're just hanging on to this as a sad memory, and it's just like
to me it feels like a cash in.
yeah, but it's not even. I wouldn't even call it a cash in anymore because like he'd been gone for like four months,
Has it
and
only been 4 months? I feel like it's been longer.
I think it was It was January, wasn't it?
Something like that. No, it could have been January. It was in the heart of COVID because of all the speculation of all that. So it's probably June or July.
No. Oh wait, no. It was towards the end of 2020. I think maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
But like, I feel like it's going on too long, and then these guys as careers are suffering because of it.
You got Coca Cabana. You got all these people in there just getting in Dark Order, and it's just end it. Just end it. It was a bad experiment that didn't work out. Just end it.
And then this main event was kind of an average match where Darby picks out a win from the Full Nelson, which I feel is going to be how Lashley loses his title soon.
Manny, the shoulders were up in this one. 10 shoulders were up.
Yeah, Marcus, do you think they actually care? Do you think they honestly care? There's been numerous times
there was a spot. No, there was a spot in either in this match or a match before in which there were some shoulders not down, and the referee looked and was like, "Oh, these shoulders are down." Just a little hand thing and showed the space, and refused to count. And then at the end of the match, the shoulders were still up, and they still let it happen. God damn it! I am so sick of the referees. They're the worst. They don't see any run-ins, no attacks. They have no credibility. Call it DQ once every now and then.
And then during this match, of course, Sting was up to his usual antics.
I'm so tired of these. The worst security guard on the planet. That's what Sting comes off as. Just some guys like, huh? Noise. Let me walk over there and see what I'm going to do with my little flashlight bat.
They were trying to pick up the guy that saved Darby Allin. as these two tried to catch Darby Allin, save him from himself, and then Sting decided to get up in all his business. And then what happened at the end? He deserved, where they're taken out by Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and Sting remains to be a fraud.
Yeah, insurance. I pay for you, Sting. He's a fraud. Well, again, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky still need mic time. I don't know where we're going with Sting, Darby Allin.
We've never known. We have never known where they're going.
Is Sting gonna say, Darby, I'm gonna fight you for that title or something, or I don't know, but they never tell us. I don't even know what Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky's motivation is. I just know they've been attacking people. Like Scorpio Sky was another person that attacked Cody, doing the Cody before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So
that was the end of Impact. Wow. AEW. And I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I felt like they made. I feel like I think it's still going to hit 1 million. NXT was down from 800 last week. I think it got 700 something.
Yeah. But they were up the previous week though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
I think NXT is going to fluctuate between 700 and 800, whereas AEW are now going to fluctuate between a mil up and down.
Yeah.
But
I don't care. I don't care.
But
I just don't care.
I feel like they missed a big attempt to cash grab on Kenny becoming a triple champion. How often do you talk about that? Of like big companies, how often do you talk about that? Never.
Let me tell you how I would have did the show, Manny. I would have talked about pyro, confetti, lasers, more women with brooms, just a big celebration. And on top of that, I would have had my announcers talk about it as much as the WWE talked about Cesaro doing a UFO on Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
it would have been that big of a deal. It would have been
Cesaro doing a UFO was made to be more of a bigger deal than Kenny winning the Impact title.
Yeah, it would have been a bigger deal than Michael Cole yelling 2 black women main eventing at WrestleMania. All right. It would have been a big deal as when Dominic finally got his first win or something like that. The little things in WWE that they make into big deals turned out to be a bigger deal than anything that's happened in AEW. Because for AEW's life, it happens in their little time frame, and then we're on to the next segment. And they need to just pace themselves and do previously or this is what happened earlier. Just bask in like someone's glory. Not to talk about Keith Lee at all, but just go back, recall, make things seem like it was important. Everything just happened in one second. Like, Eddie Kingston and Moxley finally get the champion in a compromised position, and we have basically no mention of that ever again.
But this is what I kind of made reference to when AEW and NXT were going to go on different days. It was that line of if AEW continue booking the way they are, the way they do Dynamite, it's going to stand out. It's going to stand out as not being good because normally you would be comparing both at the same time.
Yep.
It's how I would do it because you'd be watching it back to back and then it's just like, okay, I didn't like this, but I also didn't like this on NXT, So like you came out of it sometimes you'd come out of it hating a lot more than you would normally would. But like it's the bad stands out a lot more now that you're not going against something. And I think that's a troubling thing. And I think it's also cheeky of them to presume and to assume that we're gonna watch all their other stuff that's online.
Yeah.
Because they're not talking about certain things that are happening. Why should we care? Like I feel like the announcer should be bringing up the dark results of this person's got a win on dark, for me to care about this person, because a lot of times someone will just show up on AEW and be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, you gotta show me clips. You gotta show me vignettes. You gotta show me that. I'm gonna tell you right now, Manny, what feels more like a bigger deal. And I'm gonna say, and you said this earlier in the show, you preference Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff are having a meaningless feud. That's called, and it's going to lead to a false count anywhere. We have no idea what the base of this feud about, but it feels like a big deal.
Do you know why it's meaningless? Because it's not going for it. It's not going anywhere. They're not winning it's not going for a title. It's not nothing. It's a weird blood feud over nothing. First of all,
yes, which happens on an everyday basis.
But it seemed like, and they haven't wrestled in how many weeks now? Because
it's 2 or 3 since the gauntlet.
Yeah,
weeks,
so
something like that.
and it still seems relevant. Like all they had to do with Kenny Omega is something like that, something that Swerve did, but a bit more bigger scale because it's a championship.
Yeah, and with that, you have Cool Kyle and Adam Cole feuding. I know it's still lingering in the background, but Adam Cole being off TV just doing these interviews, or Kyle just doing an interview about it, it still feels like it's a bigger deal than Kenny Omega or anything going on in the show because it kind of lingers. It's like they just keep mentioning it, bringing up, like, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what's going on here. And it just seems like everything Dynamite, it happened in that 5 minutes. We've moved on. We're moving on to the next 5 or 10, 15 minutes of the show. And then next week, we make no reference of it or whatever happened on Dark or Elevation. And we just pretend like everybody knows everything that's going on. Well, no one knows what's going on. It's just the same shit. It has no gravitas. Like, when I watch SmackDown, when the big dog comes out and he threatens Daniel Bryan's career, you know how many times this week I've seen commercials or mentioning of Roman Reigns being the tribal chief and how he's going to kill Daniel Bryan's career this week. Like, a million times. It's being advertised, it's being sold. And on Friday, when Daniel Bryan loses to the big dog, and
we're going to hear about it for a couple of days.
Yeah. And you're even probably going to get great moments in Daniel Bryan's career, maybe a week after, a vignette or something that leads into it.
Well, no, I'll tell you what you're going to get on SmackDown, and it's going to get promoted throughout the week, next week. Daniel Bryan says goodbye to SmackDown. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's tons of stuff like that, and that's all I need. I need stuff to sit in and settle. Like, watch a normal TV show, and Manny, let's see, what's your favorite TV? You don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
That is not my. How dare you say that's my favorite TV show? That's gone on for like 20 seasons, and I've only watched 4 of them.
That's all right. And you don't have a segment in which someone almost died in surgery. I've never seen the show, and almost died in surgery. or dies in surgery, and I'm going to say Gray because I have no idea who the main character of that show is. Dr. Gray isn't affected by it throughout this show and even the next show.
Well, surgeons are a little bit cold-blooded, Marcus. They have people's lives in their hands every day. People die.
Yeah, but you know, they feel it throughout the series. Like, damn. Like if House were to let somebody die, you know
House doesn't care. He practically kills people.
He cares. You see it internally. It's destroyed him.
No,
he cares when he can't solve it. When he can't solve it.
It's a puzzle to him. It's a game. If the person dies, the person dies. Have you seen how many times he's put people through hell before they even come close to the solution? Because they put trial and error through medicine.
Well, the beginning of House, you see this is how House is booked or structured. It starts off, person gets sick for something random, and they damn near dies. They go to the hospital. House doesn't care until they almost die again. And then he goes, oh, this might be worth solving. His goons go and look at the chart. He looks at the chart and says, give them these drugs. They die. They are barely brought back to life. House suggests one last thing. We play in credits music as the guy survives and goes back to the family when they find out it's lupus.
It's never lupus.
No, it's never lupus.
It's never lupus.
He always says, oh, it's lupus. No, it's never lupus.
Did you check it for lupus? Yeah, negative.
Damn it.
Yeah, so
like, even when I go to the doctor, did you check me for lupus?
Get your TV watching ass out of here.
My point is, let it simmer, let it sit for a while. You don't cook a steak and then serve the steak. You let it sit for a little bit.
Well, I also feel like AEW, I get there's times where we look at WWE and go, this person's not being used, That doesn't mean you have them run about. Like, I get the 24/7 title is basically that. But you can't. You can't
have them running around.
But like that's almost a fill-in time a lot of the time. But I get there was times when it was disrespectful when they ran through a match. But like this is happening all the time where you just get extra guys on the show to do run-ins that like before or after matches, during matches. It's just becoming ridiculous. It's the same formula every week. And it's almost similar to the Raw formula right now. And it's not clicking for me. And that's okay if it doesn't for you. If it does for you.
Yeah, Manny, I want to go on record and say this. You remember every week we were getting Tony Schiavone interview Sting?
Oh, it feels like that for everything else.
Yeah. Since they moved on from the format of Sting is interviewed by Tony Schiavone, we've got Sting now is in main event with Darby Allin. And he randomly walks over to talk to the other combatants side to almost somewhat interfere in a matchup. And
then Sting's life and Darby's life is almost always saved by the Murder Hawk every week. This is what it's becoming, and it's becoming ridiculous.
Yeah, no answers for the Murder Hawk or why he's saving people. Yep.
Yes, there's a lot of people in AEW that don't seem to have direction, but like. Obviously, fanboys aren't going to see that. They're going to see the negative in how WWE have been booking and people have gone down the wayside in WWE who are buried and so and so forth. But it's close. It feels like there's people that are just there on AEW a lot of the time.
Hold on, Manny. If Hangman Page and Brian Cage had this match in WWE, the internet would have went ablaze about, I can't believe they're burying Hangman Page. How could he lose? It would have been a Shinsuke gate. He lost.
I don't think so.
All over again.
If we book this, say if this is booked in WWE, is Hangman still however many wins he's got 9-0 at that point?
I don't know.
Is he still that? Is he still undefeated up until this point?
Yeah, he was undefeated.
It's not burial.
To say.
It's not burial.
You wouldn't call it that, but do you think the WWE haters, fanboys, whatever they are called these days, the universe.
No, I think you get. I think
you don't think that they'll be comments like, "Oh, they're burying Hangman Page"?
No, I think the reaction
because he lost in like 5 minutes.
I think the reaction you would have got would have been similar to the reaction people, the internet wrestling fan, had when Will Hobbs lost to Christian, where they were totally against it. But like, I feel like even Taz kind of saved that promo where he was just like, "You barely beat Will Hobbs last week because he made a mistake and you capitalized on it."
Whatever.
But even we called it that way. We called it that way that Christian barely beat him.
He survived. It was a survive.
Yeah, so
it goes to the Taz promo. You may win or survive if I let you.
Maybe it's a case that we get El Luchador con because he's an AEW. He's a primetime AEW fan, and then maybe Maurice, and we have this discussion because it feels like coming the way we see it. I feel like AEW's lost in direction at the moment.
Yeah, they throw a lot at you, and it's a lot of food. Let's say you're eating, and it just seems like it's anything that's filling. It's just like a lot of stuff, and it's like where's the main course? Like I feel like I don't have a main course. Kenny should be more important. It
still feels like a house show. Do you know what I mean? Like house shows are always good. Like house shows are booked for everyone to have fun, and that's great. But I mean, it doesn't work for TV all the time.
I don't know. Since NXT lost, and I'm going to invent a word here, a la the late great Eric, who will be on Saturday. Specialtricity. That when they had the Wednesday Night Wars, I just feel like I'm watching AEW and I'm going like, oh, I just have all this instead of having the variety, the change up. Like NXT is like, oh man, this is crazy, and then you got the AEW and you go like, this is crazy. But
like Marcus, when we watch NXT hasn't changed since the move since Wednesday.
No, it's the same
it's the same stuff.
I don't know if Legardo del Fantasma would main event without AEW. But I think it may have. I think it still would have did the same shit, to be honest.
So let's look at next week before we close out the show. If these two were booked against each other both on Wednesday, I think I'm still watching NXT first.
Well, NXT, and I'm going to say this again, because I've said it since this war began, and even maybe before that, it's the best wrestling show on the planet, hands down. It's just you get great matches, stuff makes sense. It's the WWE production with indie wrestling, and it's a great merger. And then AEW just give you AEW and indie wrestling without as much story and context. Like every now and then you get some good solid stuff. Like the parlay has some promo work that was solid, but it seemed like it was a lot of like no one's gonna die in this.
Look, I feel like I think it's just the inner circle. I'm not even. I don't care anymore. Like, look how hard the inner circle has gone since the pandemic era of wrestling. They have gone so hard that it's like I'm tired of them. Like the start of the pandemic was pretty much the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, and the thing is about this feud with the inner circle and the Pinnacle. I honestly don't see. No matter who wins, I don't see any faction actually benefiting from this.
There's nothing else on the line, so it just seems like it's going to carry on after this.
It's like, well, we lost. Jericho may take time off or whoever, and that's really it. It's not like it's. I don't feel like Sammy will survive on his own with the Inner Circle, or Pride and Powerful has been basically just jobbers since joining AEW, and Swagger is just Swagger. It's just.
Well, Swagger's more his career about Bellator, isn't it? It's not about anything else.
Is he? I don't even know if he's all about that. I don't even know. I don't know what his motivations in life are. All I know, he saved Jericho from assassination in Abu Dhabi in 2012. Have no idea what that's about. Because Jericho mentioned that in his promo.
I feel like I would rather be being paid to do nothing at WWE than to bastardize my career doing nonsense in AEW, unless you're one of their top guys.
Nah. It depends on how much I'm getting paid. If I'm getting paid really hefty in catering, I'll be okay. But if I'm doing
I think
nothing and
WWE guys.
I'm getting like the
WWE
average, and I could probably make more doing AEW and some indie shows on the side. I'd rather do that.
I think I would sit. I'd be happy.
Hey, like you call me. You can call me. I'm trying to think of somebody in case. You call me Ricochet.
I'd happily be Ricochet.
Nah, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. I'm more although, the Miz show how making it work in time in his 24. Just as he's
I still need to watch that.
That's really good.
I still need to watch it. Yeah.
Really
I still need to watch that. Yeah. So that was the end of the show, guys. A heated debate. I think that discussion about AEW's direction should be a gentleman's discussion, but not.
Which returns this Saturday.
Yeah,
well, it records this Saturday.
I think that one isn't. I don't think that one is with the Disman. I think that one is hosted by me, you, and then we have the two AEW guys, Maurice and El Luchador.
It may not get you to be like just fights.
Yeah, I don't think it's fights because like we I think we can hold down a discussion rather than fighting. I think I'm more snappy at comments because the way it comes across is not naturally how someone says it. So it may come off a bit more. With the way I read it, comes off more snarky in my head, and it feels like an assault.
He is being to be like, well, Ethan Page is stupid. Oh, what?
Yeah, I think that's a discussion we need to have. I just for the channel purposes, because El Luchador does defend AEW quite a lot, but it doesn't come across well how we read it out how I read it out personally in the comments. So it'd be better if he could voice it out and then make his point more clearer.
I have my last point about AEW is that it's like watching Game of Thrones with a bunch of sub characters that you do not care about. Like they go to storylines. Like, can we just get back to the main story? Or something close, or it gets to the stories I like, but it just seems like all the stories I dislike, and nothing even matters. At the end of the day, these characters will be dead by the end of season 3.
It's just, I still feel like your champion should not be in meaningless segments throughout the night. Like he should be in the opening, like Roman is, throughout the night being like the badass, like Roman is.
Yeah, he should be the focal point.
Yeah, and then...
Especially when you won the Impact Wrestling and TNA Championship.
He's got 3 titles, and he's still not considered a big deal.
Yeah, Manny, they broke the record in buys or they got 9 times as many buys, which I replied as... Well, I didn't reply. Someone else replied because I knew they would say it, which means they got a total of, 9 buys? Like,
yeah, because everyone else pirated because no wrestling fan pays for stuff.
But even with that being said, I would tout, no pun intended with WWE, I would go out there and say, I increased Impact revenue and got 9 times as many buys to watch me beat the most challenging champion there is out there, Rich Swann, and this is only the beginning of my journey. Like, I would just show a promo from after the match. If I can't show the match, just a promo. Just a AEW exclusive that they only have on .com. A sweaty, beat-up Kenny Omega holding all the belts, talking about, I'm the champion, blah, 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 this and this. I don't know.
And if you've made it this far, I would like you to send a video to the sharpshooters, you doing your best V-trigger.
I don't even want that. Just put some comments below. What are your thoughts on all the characters in AEW being used and just seems like nobody's in anything meaningful? Or would you rather be in catering? or would you rather be one of the million stables of AEW just randomly coming out there?
See, I'd rather sit and wait for something meaningful to happen than just be out there doing nothing.
Yeah, you might have.
So see, my first argument of collecting money sounded stupid, but like realistically, that's what I would be doing, like collecting money till I was needed for something meaningful. I would rather be in something meaningful than to be out there. ruining my stock.
Essentially. Just flailing. Like, I don't know. This week I was chased off by Sting. Yeah, what happened to you last week? I wasn't on TV for a bit. I'm to the week before. I was on AEW Dark and Elevation. Beat some no-names. Then I returned 3 weeks later.
Singing Judas in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's my life now.
So that is the end of the show. Make sure you check out our merch page at www.storefrontier.com/ESPN.
No one's buying that. No one's buying that.
Go check out the website, www.thesharpshooters.com. There's a donate button there. If you want to donate some monies, if you don't want to buy our merch, donate some monies. Those that don't watch WWE and don't pay for the network and Peacock and all that other stuff, use that money and give it to us. Yeah, and then check out the Saturday show. It got 34 views this week, which is an improvement of 8. And check out the new intro.
9 times as many views.
Check out the new intro on the review show. By God, if I ever have to host a Saturday show again, that is going to be the intro. So you better hope, Eric. You better hope that I don't host ever again.
Because every day is going to be your birthday.
I've taken that bit out.
I know. I wasn't in there, Manny.
The best bit is, hi, I'm Eric. Brandon Cutler here, and I'm Manny. And it feels like you knew on that day we were recording on the Saturday, I was going to do some bullshit like that because there was a pause before you said, Marcus the Grand Finale. And you seemed so disappointed.
I don't even remember why. Who knows?
So on that note, we had a good show. Peace.
Blow us up. Or just send us out.